So it's about time that we broke the suspense. We've been saying for the longest time that we have a total of 3 different methods for solving equations. So it's time for the big reveal. What is that third method? We've done graphing, we've done solving equations, and finally we're going to use addition / elimination. Our third method that will go along with graphing and with substitution. So addition / elimination, we're basically going to line them up and add them. That's our overall strategy here. So we're using elimination to solve systems of linear equations. And here I listed out steps. Step number 0, line up variables vertically. So you want your x's over x, y over y, constants on this side lined up vertically. It's already done in this equation, in these 2 equations. So step number 1, once we've done that, figure out how to eliminate the variables. Step number 2, distribute if needed. Step number 3, add / eliminate opposites. Step number 4, solve for the remaining variable. Plug the numbers back into the simpler equation to find the other variable that's missing. And now that you have both variables, step number 5, double check the answer by plugging in the numbers into the other equation. So we're going to follow the process for this one. So these are already lined up vertically, these 2 equations. So step number 1, figure out how to eliminate. Let's look over here. We want to add them in such a way that the y's cancel out, or the x's cancel out. In this case, the y's are very similar to each other already. So we'll go ahead and do that. The way we can eliminate is if we can turn this y into a negative y, or this y into a negative y. So when we add these 2 equations together, you'll get y plus negative y. Y plus negative y is 0, they cancel out, and then we're able to easily solve for x after we've canceled out that y variable. So again, we want to solve the equation by getting rid of one of the variables. So we're going to add them up, but add them in such a way that we're adding opposites. So since we have a y and y, the way we get the opposite is get a negative y. So if we get one of these y's negative, we can add an opposite and get rid of the y. And we could have done the same for the x too, but it's easier to do it with the y since there's no number or coefficient in front of the y. So like I said, we want to get negative y. The way that we do that, we figured it out. Step number 1, get negative y in this case. The way that we do it is we can multiply this whole equation by negative 1. And when that negative 1 gets distributed to y, it'll be negative y, which is what we need. So step number 1 is get negative y, and we do that by multiplying first equation by negative 1. So let's do it. And this will go into step number 2. We don't have to distribute. The way I personally like to do it, I'm going to rewrite the whole equation again. 2x plus y equals 12 in brackets. That's the first equation. But now, we're multiplying the whole equation by negative 1. So let's negative 1 times this whole equation. So step number 2 is we're going to distribute. So negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x. Negative 1 times y is negative y. Negative 1 times 12 equals negative 12. So now we've gotten what we want from step number 2. We're ready for step number 3. Add/eliminate opposites. So I'll rewrite the first equation. I'll write again. I'm going to write this new equation that we got. Negative 2x minus y equals negative 12. I'm going to write the other one. We're going to line them up so that we can add/eliminate opposites, step number 3. So here's the other equation, negative 3x plus y equals 2. Negative 3x plus y equals 2. And now you can see we have negative y plus y. They're going to cancel out and be 0. Negative 2x minus 3x, or basically negative 2x plus negative 3x. That's going to be negative 5x plus 0, as these cancel out, equals 2. Well, equals negative 12 plus 2. So that would be negative 10. Now, we're going to have to get rid of this negative 5 in front of the x. We're going to use our inverse operations. Divide both sides of the equation by negative 5. And now x simply equals negative 10 divided by negative 5. Dividing two negatives makes a positive. Positive 2 for x. So that's step number 3. X equals 2. Step number 4. Solve for the remaining variable by plugging the number back into the simpler equation to find the other variable. The other variable would be y. So here's the simpler equation, the top one. Let's rewrite that down here. So it was 2x plus y equals 12. 2x plus y equals 12. All right, check this out. We are now going to plug in, this is step number 4, plug in the number we got, which is x equals 2. Find the other variable, which is y in this case. So watch this. I'm going to write 2. Now we're subbing in 2 for x. Plus y equals 12. So now it's 4 plus y equals 12. Of course, we're going to move over this 4, minus 4 on both sides, minus 4. Let's cross it out. 12 minus 4 is 8. Y equals 8. So we can write it like coordinates 2, 8. Step number 5. Don't let this one fool you. You still need to double check the answer in the other equation. Be sure we got it right. 2, 8 is what we're plugging in. So the other equation is negative 3x plus y equals 2. Let's rewrite. Second equation. Negative 3x plus y equals 2. We are now following step number 5. Double check by plugging in the numbers into the other equation. So from negative 3 going to plug in. I'll write this in my red pin. 2. So it's 2 and 8 right over here. Plus, now for y, we're plugging it in. The answer we got 8 equals 2. So now it's negative 6. That's negative 3 times 2, which equals negative 6. Plus 8 equals 2. Negative 6 plus 8 does in fact equal 2. So now we know we're right. It's 2, 8. And that's all there is to it.